Shio Shigotsu. Wow, I feel big and powerful. That's some voice right there. Hello, Moravian College. How are y'all doing? Nice. I don't know about y'all, but I love the smell of success in the afternoon. So I'm relatively new to Moravian College. My name is Daisy Purdy, and I'm with the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. I can see you, but I want to hear you. I lost hearing in my right ear, so that means y'all got to bring up the volume. Clap your hands if there is someone here with you today that is supportive of you. Clap your hands if there is someone here with you today that you are proud of. Clap your hands if there's someone here with you today that gives you hope for the future. Now, not everyone could be here today, so we have to be especially loud on this next one, so those who aren't here can hear us. Clap your hands if you are happy to be here today celebrating these accomplishments. Support, pride, hope, and maybe even love. In our celebration, when recognizing who is here and who is not with us, it's important to recognize where we stand. I'm going to read a land acknowledgement drafted in collaboration with the President of the Delaware Nation and Moravian College students and faculty. If y'all are able, can I get you to stand while I read? We acknowledge that we gather in Lenape-Hoking, the Lenape people's ancestral territory. William Penn's heirs dispossessed the Lenape with fraudulent walking purchase of 1737. Subsequent broken treaties and violent conflicts forced the Lenape people from their homelands. The majority of Lenape communities settled in Oklahoma, Wisconsin, and Ontario, where they live today as federally recognized sovereign nations. We urge those of us who benefit from their dispossession to commit ourselves to reckoning with history and the legacies of colonialism. Today, we strive to be responsible caretakers of the lands we stand on and build ongoing reciprocal relationships necessary for conciliation with Indigenous peoples. You may sit. Except for some of y'all. Will the Intercultural Graduation Planning Committee and volunteers please stand up and be recognized? Round of applause. Thank you for your help in making this day possible and inviting me to be here with you. This is intercultural graduation. My maternal culture is Black and Indigenous. My paternal culture is white. I am who my ancestors dreamed me to be, as are all of you, including queer and first generation. I share my identities in these stoles with you because much has changed since I walked a stage like this 20 years ago when I graduated with my bachelor's degree. For example, increasing acceptance of celebrating intercultural identities in public spaces. Acceptance isn't enough. We need to do more and better. As a society and as an academic institution, it is with this in mind that I share my gratitude for those who sit before us today as the classes of 2020 and 2021. Pause for applause. I feel like I need one of those signs that says clap hands, you know? They have overcome unnecessary obstacles to achieve this milestone. Thank you for giving us hope for the future. And now, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Manuel Gonzalez, Executive Director of International Admissions.
Hola y buenas tardes. Me llamo Manuel Antonio González López Yo soy el director ejecutivo del Centro de Educación Global. Además de ser empleado de Moravian College, yo también soy un graduado súper orgulloso de esta escuela. Gradué en 1984, soy muy viejito ya. En un día igual como hoy, muy bonito, muy precioso el día. Quiero dar la bienvenida a todos, a nuestros estudiantes, sus parientes que están aquí presentes y sus amigos que están en esta ceremonia. Y te doy la bienvenida con todo mi corazón. Gracias y bienvenidos. I'm now going to put on the phone Jamil Sauer, who's an international student advisor, who's going to do a welcome in Arabic. Jamil, are you on?
شكرا ماني. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعزائي الخريجين وأهاليهم، نبارك لكم في هذا اليوم على تخرجكم، وهذا اليوم كان هو عبارة عن ثمرة جهودكم طوال السنوات الماضية، سهر وتعب ودراسة لهذا اليوم التخرج. وأهنئ خاصة أهاليكم، سواء كنتم معنا في هذا الحفل أو سواء ستسمعون هذه الكلمات عبر الفيديو. ولكن أبنائكم اليوم سوف يقفون على عتبات التخرج لعالم آخر من التقدم والنجاح في حياتهم. نتمنى لهم التوفيق ولكم وفيهم البركة لما هو أفضل وما هو قادم، سواء في متابعة تعليمهم العالي أو سواء في الشغل أو العمل والتوفق والحياة. والله يبارك فيكم وبكم ولكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. شكرا. Thank you, Manny.
Shukran, Jamil. Mabruk to the students.
Good afternoon. I'm Nicholas Crary, the Associate Provost for Academic Inclusion and Innovation, and with Daisy Purdy, with whom I have the honor to work, we work in the Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And it is my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce our speaker for this afternoon. Leonardo da Vinci allegedly said, "Poor is the pupil who does not surpass his master." So allow me to share with you what kind of student our speaker, Dr. Eden Al-Masoud, is. She came to my African history survey in her senior year as a chemistry major. Her family is from Morocco and are of Imaziren, or the free people, not so-called Berbers, which comes from the Latin word for barbarians. She came to my class as an already accomplished Amazigh activist and proponent of African indigenous knowledges in general, and the creation of an independent Amazigh homeland, or Tamazgha, in particular. I can safely say that Ms. Al-Masoud taught me at least as much about African history, if not more, than I taught her. With every reading that I assigned, she questioned the authors, interrogated their ideas from a perspective that I had not achieved. Not only that, but as she challenged the sources around which I built my classes, she pushed me to be a better scholar, to never stop listening for and understanding the voices of the people who allow me to share their lives and stories in my research. To give you a sense of what I mean, I share a brief passage from the introduction to her first historiography paper as a master's student. In contribution to a methodology of decolonization, I will rely heavily on the work of indigenous scholars and will avoid referencing those who contribute to the colonization of any land. Using colonialist thought, for example, that of Jacques Derrida or Michel Foucault, to further indigenous causes is harmful and insensible. Citing indigenous scholars also promotes their work and legitimizes their senses. She completed her master's in African Studies at Ohio University and then pursued her MD at the University of Minnesota's Medical School with a specialization in psychiatry. I like to think that my having had her read Martinican psychiatrist and Algerian National Liberation Front partisan Frantz Fanon had something to do with her decision, but she was already an accomplished and committed scientist in training when she came to my class. She is currently completing her residency in psychiatry at Yale University School of Medicine, and she continues her activism, working as an organizer with the Semilla Collective of New Haven and working for migration and labor justice. So Leonardo would be quite proud. And I could not be prouder to present to you Dr. Eden Al-Masoud, MD.
Thank you. Oof, that's hard to follow. So I want to thank Dr. Nick Creary for inviting me here to share this moment and this huge transition with you all. I also want to thank him for believing in me, especially in a time when I did not believe in myself. He encouraged me to trust myself, that I knew things not only from reading and academics, but from my life, from my family's story. When thinking about what to talk about today, I thought, well, find people who believe in you. That sounds like good advice, right? But then, how do you do that? Do you just bumble along trying to get by and appease people until someone sees something inside you? Do you play by the rules until you suddenly find yourself in a different space, perhaps with different rules, but that feel more authentic? It turns out it's hard for people to believe in you if you are not who you are. I'm a therapist now, and people often worry or hope that I can read their minds, but maybe I skipped that class. We've all been there. But actually, people cannot read minds or see others' futures when we interact. What we can do is put our energy out in the world. We can interrogate our values and try deeply to live them out, to align our actions with our words and beliefs. When we do that, if we are who we are, we find others who resonate, to join your orbit or invite you into theirs. Maybe you have already connected with some of these people, and maybe not yet. That is okay. I'm reminded of my time in medical school, where it took me 1.5 years to even meet a Black doctor, or anyone for that matter, who I could relate to. It was painfully lonely. Not seeing people like you represented in your field has a massive impact on us, on our self-esteem, our sense of value. And while I felt hopeless about finding any sense of belonging within that institution, that does not mean I don't belong in the world. After all, medicine and academia are institutions of violence and exploitation, founded and still run upon a history and present of genocide, slavery, and other forms of oppression. To not belong in this sphere is perhaps not the worst thing. When I'm hearing this aloud, I realize this is a very long way of saying thank you to Dr. Creary and to the others in my orbit for believing in me, for carving out spaces in and outside of the university to think, grow, and create. For students of color, surviving in these spaces is, to say the least, not easy. You may have experienced verbal or even physical harassment. You may have been surrounded by microaggressions, a sort of 1,000 paper cuts. You may have been told, as I was, to keep your head down or to pick your battles, when actually the message there is don't battle, don't make trouble. And sometimes, even from our own communities, we face alienation and exclusion for leaving, even from the same people who supported us to get to this point. Often, the people who are supposed to encourage us to be our mentors let us down or make us doubt our own abilities. My assigned advisor in medical school told me I would never be able to do my specialty in psychiatry because of my role in a protest against research abuse at my institution. 4 years later, he had to hand me the envelope with the news that I would be going to the top psychiatry program in the country. And I'd like to share a little about this journey. But a spoiler, it was not by staying quiet or keeping my head down that I got to this place. It was by making trouble. Good trouble. Troublemaking that I hope honors my ancestors. It was through this, dissent, speaking up, that I found kindred souls in the struggle. I continued to protest my institution and connected with fellow organizers and activists in and outside of the university, building community. I reconnected with my identities outside of medicine, found friends who are immigrants and indigenous who are displaced and from different class backgrounds. We are stronger as a web than as individual threads. Again, it is hard to find those compañeros, those comrades, if you are not who you are, however painful it is to live authentically amidst a colonial landscape. It takes an incredible toll, emotionally and physically. Noticing the inequality, that one's peers from different backgrounds don't seem to experience the same kinds of struggles, only adds to that pain. I remember struggling to focus on studying in the cold with the heat shut off to save money, eating mostly lentils and rice to cut costs, but most significantly, feeling the shame of being who I am from the background I have. Though no shame in still loving lentils after all of that, because I'm just saying lentils are good, especially if you know how to use spices properly. But back to this very real shame that comes up. One small example is that I didn't graduate from high school, and for years was afraid to say that aloud, worried that someone would find out that in fact I shouldn't be here. This kind of shame overwhelmed me at some points, affecting my mental health until at one point I left school, unsure that I could continue. I imagine some of you have had similarly non-traditional paths through your studies, and I applaud you for your dedication, with honor for your struggles along the way. And could we take a minute to actually applaud and to recognize the difficulties you, your classmates, your communities have experienced? This year has been, to say the least, really hard. Really, really hard. This is probably not how you imagined graduating college and transitioning into the next steps of your lives. Although, of course, you know now that as a therapist, I can both read minds and predict the future, so we kind of saw this coming. So, since you know I'm a shrink, I'm going to invite you to do something with me. To take a moment, with your eyes closed if you feel comfortable, and check in with yourself. How you're feeling in this moment, what sensations you notice in your body. And now, trying to connect with the peace, one of the parts of yourself that helped you get through. The strength, the resilience, the power. Let's thank these, honor them, honor our lineages. I am not a silver lining sort of person, and I don't want to minimize the impact of this suffering. And that said, these challenges that we face and overcome are what prepare us to build another world. In my medical training, I've listened to countless lectures about the social determinants of health, the impacts of poverty and racism on our health. And that is really important stuff. But I didn't really need those lectures. Our lived experiences, our expertise. The stories that we carry, our wisdom. And yet, those internal voices. I shouldn't be here. I don't belong here. These bring up a lot of emotion for me. These messages can feel ubiquitous, communicated directly and indirectly at nearly every turn within what ought to be an educational and supportive environment. And in fact, the system, with racism built into its very foundations, did not intend for us to be here. I've often heard that as students of color, we have to do everything right. We have to work twice as hard, be twice as good to even have the same opportunities. That our predecessors worked hard, sacrificed so much of themselves to gain access to institutional spaces from which they were intentionally excluded. But I don't believe that they broke out of the boundaries imposed on them only for us to serve the same system that disregards the value of our very lives. The system that exploits our labor, our histories, our cultures for profit. Only for us to stay within the next layer of boundaries imposed on us. Putting our faces on promotional brochures, for example, or putting out performative condemnations of racism, yet failing to allocate actual resources towards justice. I believe that our predecessors fought against oppression for us to be able to live, to stand here today, to continue fighting, to demand recognition of our humanity, and to insist on more. And reparations might be a great place to start there. So instead of doing what we're told, let us listen to other voices, to the elders from our own communities, to our ancestors calling out, giving us guidance. Let us find or create spaces where we can thrive. This will inevitably disrupt the surrounding system that tries, in vain, I might add, to maintain an oppressive status quo. Our thriving, our joy and celebration, even these are a threat to colonial institutions. We face alienation and retaliation, but that does not mean that what we create, what we build when we come together is not absolutely brilliant. Personally, I have found a place to sprout and blossom not in medicine, which is increasingly becoming just my day job, but in community organizing, in coming together, building power from the grassroots, and from the roots of our cultures and histories, working towards another world that is possible. In this space, we find meaning in the process, in the struggle itself, because we know that when we fight, we win. The win might not be our initial objective, it usually is not. But I am learning that often the win is the one-on-one conversations with fellow organizers, building relationships and community. It's a protest at the governor's mansion that becomes a reggaeton dance party in the street. It is the energy of our joy when we share food and sit in the sun and commune. I am so curious what seeds each of you carries. Which ones have already sprouted? Which ones are blossoming? I'm still pretty young, but I am pretty sure this process never ends. We keep planting and harvesting, and I can keep the plant metaphor going for a while, so I'll stop there. I am so curious for each one of you what the calls of your ancestors are saying and what they will say. I am so curious about how you connect with those voices and what you will do in response. I will end with something inspired by Chakanetsa Mavunga, who, when asked for advice, said that what he wants is to see young people to realize that we are descended from great ancestors and should hold our heads up high, chin up, eyes to the front, marching forwards towards the destiny that we should claim. Because we are experts in our experiences, why should we not then use those skills? Our expertise includes our lived experiences, our lineages, our feelings. We must conquer our fears, not only the external and structural barriers, but the ones inside us, the internal voices that keep telling us those things, like, you don't belong here. No. We find and create spaces of belonging, of home. We carry a history and a future that are brilliant. So with that, I again want to recognize all of you, the work you have done, that you'll continue to do, and everything that has brought you here. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Al-Masoud, for your subject matter expertise, the seeds that you've planted, and the seeds that you've cultivated, guided by ancestors and supported by community. That's a theme for us here today. I was given a Stoll's script to read. How many of y'all are ready to get celebratory? Nice. Historically, at other universities, this event is directly identified with the African American student population. But at our college, we celebrate the diversity and traditions that go hand in hand with academic excellence for all our students. Today, we invite families and friends present and share in this ceremony and to celebrate and give advice of support and reflection to our students. The kente fabric presented today is adapted from the African tradition of the country of Ghana. This fabric was typically used by the nobility, but is now used in graduations and other special occasions. Colors and shapes have symbolic meaning. Our graduates have selected a diversity of fabric that they felt represented something cultural to them. This ceremony serves as an opportunity for students, together with their parents, teachers, friends, support network, ancestors, community, to come together and celebrate their successes. Additionally, this ceremony provides an opportunity for students to reflect on their experiences at this college. These fabrics should be worn proudly in recognition of perseverance, determination, humility, and strength.
I'm here to read about the kente en español, castellano. Históricamente, en otras universidades, este evento se identifica directamente con la población estudiantil afroamericana, pero en nuestra universidad celebramos la diversidad y las tradiciones que van mano a mano con la excelencia académica para todos nuestros estudiantes. Hoy invitamos a las familias y las amistades presentes a compartir en esta ceremonia y para celebrar y dar consejos de apoyo y reflejo a nuestros estudiantes. El tejido kente presentado hoy es adaptado de la tradición africana del país de Ghana. Este tejido fue utilizado típicamente por la nobleza, pero ahora se utiliza en graduaciones u otras ocasiones especiales. Los colores y las formas tienen significados simbólicos. Nuestros graduados han seleccionado un tejido que ellos sintieron y que presentaban algo cultural para ellos. Esta ceremonia sirve como una oportunidad para que los estudiantes, junto con sus padres, profesores y amigos, se reúnan y celebran sus éxitos, Además, esta ceremonia ofrece una oportunidad para que los estudiantes reflexionen sobre sus experiencias en esta universidad. Estos tejidos deben usarse con orgullo como reconocimiento de perseverancia, determinación, humildad y fuerza. Gracias. The students will now get their stoles. The family that's presenting the stole or the friends, you have about 2 minutes or so to talk about your student.
If y'all are like me and brevity is not your strong point, I think that we also have Mel that's going to be a reminder as the stoles are presented. So if you're not timing yourselves and you see Mel approach, you'll know why. So now, the moment that we have all been waiting for. I'm going to call the names of the graduates, and they're going to be recognized and honored. Laura Slaber.
Thank you, Daisy. Good afternoon. My name is Belinda Peterson, and I'm an assistant professor of English here at Moravian College. It is my pleasure to be here today to present Laura with her Africana Studies minor stole. But before I do, I'd like to say a few words about Laura. And I have written it down, and I think I'm good on time.
Time's up. No, I'm just playing.
So 4 years ago, Laura registered for my 8:55 a.m. Introduction to African American Literature class. It was her first semester of the freshman year. Since that time, she took 5 additional courses with me, the last one being this semester. It's been an amazing, amazing journey. Among other things, I've had the opportunity to sign Laura's Africana Studies minor declaration form, induct her into Tri Iota's Women and Gender Studies Honor Society, and serve on her honors thesis committee. But more than that, I've had a chance to witness Laura's incredible journey here at Moravian. She's a wonderful person who embodies grace, compassion, and intelligence. She is so generous to her peers, and she is a blessing to her professors. I am truly going to miss having her in my classes. Laura, your unapologetic enthusiasm for learning is inspiring. You have inspired me as a professor, and so I want to thank you for that. Laura's mom is in the audience, and I want to thank you for sending your daughter here and sharing her with us. Finally, I'm going to offer you one final piece of literature from icon Lucille Clifton, and her poem is entitled Blessing the Boats. May the tide that is entering even now the lip of our understanding carry you out beyond the face of fear. May you kiss the wind, then turn from it, certain that it'll love you back. May you open your eyes to water, water waving forever, and may you in your innocence sail from this to that. Congratulations.
All right, one final homework assignment for Laura, and if you could get that done by next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Thank you, Dr. Waller-Peterson. Melissa Charles.
Melissa Charles was one of the first people I had the pleasure of meeting at Moravian. I first met Melissa when we were assigned as roommates our freshman year. And since we're both in the sciences, we've also had a few classes together. Then we worked at Reeves Library together, and she was the one who referred me, so I guess I owe you a lot of money. Maybe not on that paycheck. Over our 4 years together, I've watched her grow and mature into the beautiful young woman that she is today. More lively, more passionate, funnier, and overall more confident. Mel, you've become such an amazing friend, and it has been an honor knowing you for the past 4 years and watching you grow into such a wonderful person. You are one of the people that I am most grateful for meeting at my time at Moravian. And with you, I've made a friend for life. Congrats, Mel. I'm not calling you friend.
Melissa Charles, everyone. Sarah Rojas.
Lo mejor que puedo. Pasa, it's okay. Estoy vacunado.
I'm sorry.
I'm vaccinated, okay.
I'm sorry. Oh my God.
¿Te ayudo?
Sí. Está bien.
Yeah, okay.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Nosotros como padres de Sara
We as Sarah's parents,
estamos llenos de orgullo
we're full of pride
y de felicidad
and happiness.
saber que nuestra hija cumple hoy una más de sus metas
And because our daughter has completed one of her things she needed to do in life.
Felicidades, hija.
Congratulations to our daughter.
Estamos seguros de que vas a continuar llenándonos de alegría y de éxito.
We are positive that you will continue to fulfill us with happiness and with dignity.
Felicidades y
Congratulations. Bye. ¿Quieres decir algo? Sí, por favor.
Sarah Rojas, everyone.
Muy buenas tardes, amigos.
Good afternoon, friends.
Soy un hombre de poquitas palabras,
I'm a man of not many words.
pero me siento muy orgulloso saber que mi hija hoy ha cumplido su misión
I am so happy that my daughter today has completed her
y
vision.
solo me resta darle las gracias
I only have to thank
primero a Dios,
first to God,
a mi hija
to my daughter,
y a los dos abuelitos que ya no están aquí.
Okay. And to my two grandparents that are no longer here.
Gracias
Thank you.
y Dios bendiga
God bless you.
a todos nosotros.
So much pride and joy. Thank you. Brianna Millstray.
All right. I prepared about 5 different things that I wanted to say to Bree and ended up with something different while I was sitting there. Listening to people, I felt so inspired by the things that were said today, and I was really able to relate them so much to my experience with Bree. To give you just a tiny bit of background, Bree was enrolled with me as a freshman in our notoriously difficult statistics and research methods course in the psychology department, one that we don't recommend that freshmen take because it's that hard. But Bree took it. She shined throughout the entire class. She was extraordinary. And we went full circle this last semester when she became a writing fellow for that same class for other students. Earlier, Dr. Al-Masood said, put our energy out into the world. And when I heard that, I immediately thought of Bree. Now I'm going to be like the mother and start crying. But Bree has the most amazing, beautiful energy about her. And when I heard that phrase, I thought, that's what Bree does. She really does put her energy, her beautiful, extraordinary energy out into the world. Also, some words that were said earlier, determination, humility, and strength. And I thought, that too is Bree. It's as if all of these people are talking about all of the phenomenal characteristics that I would use to describe her. Some other words, accepting, curious, wise, thoughtful, giving, full of fresh air. And to sum up, I'll say, again, borrowing from some of the words earlier, I'm so very thankful to be in Bree's orbit. I wish her the very, very, very best as she goes on to her master's program in occupational therapy, which has been her dream, she told me, for many years, and I know she'll continue to shine. So congratulations, Bree. Thank you. Congratulations. Another hug.
Compliments of the height difference. You get a bow and a stole at the same time with that one. Janessa Ortiz Delgado.
Good afternoon. My granddaughter Janessa, standing here by your side on your graduation is my honor. Your determination to succeed has been admirable. Your ability to work 2 part-time jobs, maintain your grades, and continued dedication to your family is already success in my eyes. You have blossomed into a confident, motivated, independent woman. I couldn't be more proud and blessed to be your grandmother. And because I am not great with speeches, I had your tia look up a few quotes online. Behind you, all of your memories. Before you, all of your dreams. Around you, all who love you. Within you, all you need. And another one, your time as a caterpillar has expired. Your wings are ready. Go on and fly. Congratulations.
Janessa, since you were a little girl, I've been by your side every step of the way, and that will never change. Even though life hasn't been easy, you never let anything stop you from reaching your dreams. I am so proud of the young lady that you have become. You have always been a very responsible, determined, very hardworking, strong-willed girl. You have worked so extra hard in school to achieve all your goals. You deserve the best in life. I'm so proud of all your accomplishments. I wish you the best always. I'm so blessed and proud to be your mom. May God continue to always bless you on your life journey. I love you always, Mom.
Thank you, Janessa and family. Some of the challenges of having a pointy hat. Jacqueline Hanna.
Hi, I'm here to talk about Jacqueline, who is one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world. And I too have written my speech about 15 times, and I'm trying to capture the best parts of all of them. I've known Jacqueline for what feels like a very long time. For as long as I've known her, she's been a strong, independent person who's gained the confidence to stand up for what she believes in. Through her time at Moravian College, I've watched her grow into a thoughtful, understanding, and independent leader. She's faced many barriers and has risen above all with grace and responsibility. Her hardships have enabled her to have a different perspective on life, and that gives her an edge over others that makes her who she is. She's strong, intelligent, and I am so fortunate to have had the opportunity to get to know her as a person. She's changed my life, and I am so proud of her, and I can't wait for what the future holds for her. Jacqueline, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of the person that you are. I'm proud of the person that you've always been, and I'm proud of what you're going to do in the future. You will do so many wonderful things in your future. You're brave, not afraid to stand up for what you believe in. You're strong and smart, and have done more things on this campus than a lot of the other students. You've developed programs, implemented policies, regulations, you've started clubs, you've helped me run programs, you've helped me update things, and done more than I could have ever asked of you. I am so grateful to have known you, and I am so proud of you. Congratulations.
Pride, hope, and futures. With a little sprinkle of love. Miles Malario.
My name is Michelle Santiago, and I am the faculty advisor to the Spectrum student group on campus. And Miles, no matter who you are or what identities you hold, communicate your genuine love and celebration. Miles Malario. What comes to mind? An image of a prism, a crystal that light passes through to create a rainbow, a spectrum of color. Knowledge is the light, and Miles is able to spread that rainbow into the world and share that light and wisdom as he journeys on. Because if you don't know anything, you just think that a prism looks like a rock. He is still growing and finding his potential and living into his truth of who he is. Miles is a gay hound who is also a leader who brings his authentic self into all aspects of his many lives, whether it is home or projects or work or school. You have joy and confidence in who you are, which inspires others to have the same. You love who you are, and I love who you are. I enjoyed working with you these past 4 years and watching you live a life that's true to you, a life that fulfills you, and a life that's 100% you. I'm so proud of you. Congratulations. Now I want you to cause a ruckus and change the world.
Miles representing the gay hounds in the house. Thank you, Miles. Jorge Aguilar Velasquez, who is not here. Physically, anyway. Yasser Alcoban.
Yasser is from Saudi Arabia, and Yasser and I have quite a history together. Prior to coming to Moravian College, I was at Northampton Community College, and that's where I met Yasser. He was studying English as a second language. I think a lot of us don't understand the journey that our international students that they go through as they become students here. And Yasser's English was kind of shaky when he first came to the United States, so I was like, oh, I don't know if he's going to make it.
Not anymore.
Yeah, not anymore. But when I first met you. And I've watched him grow into a great man that he is today. He's also a great friend, and he's part of my family. And I truly have, I can't do this anymore. Getting old. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of his achievements and everything that he's done. And he's really going to be part of my life forever. And I really am happy that I've met you, and I was allowed to see you grow through this journey.
Thank you so much. I cannot appreciate you.
So I too met Yasser at Northampton, And I'd like to say that I feel like his mom, but then that would make me old, like Manny. So I thought maybe an auntie, but then that would still make me old, so I prefer older sister. And I think of Gwendolyn Brooks when she said, "We are each other's harvest, we are each other's business." And I think about you, and I think about the seeds that sprouted at Northampton, and to see it in its full bounty here as you complete your studies. Bumpy roads we went through.
Yes.
But I'm so proud of you, and I know that your parents are very, very proud of you. And you promise to continue the success. Voila.
Voila, yes.
So we got another homework assignment in the house. You got to continue the success, Yasser.
Oh my God, thank you so much.
Mabruk,
Nick Nordra Amran.
Hi, my name is Momina Zia. I'm here to present Nordra. I've known her for about 3 years now, and I can say with pride that she can achieve anything she sets her mind to, especially skipping her marketing class for a Blackpink concert. On a serious note, I've seen her push through many obstacles, and never once has she given up on anything, especially this past year. Nordra, I envy your strength and determination for being in a foreign country, completely independent, graduating cum laude, mashallah. It's not as easy as you make it seem. You are fearless and you stick to your principles, which is why you've set the bar high for all your friends and your sisters. You're a great role model. We're all extremely proud of you. Congratulations on your well-deserved success.
And for whoever's keeping track, we would like to have the comment on skipping class stricken from the record. Sonal Aurora.
Hi, so I'm at Sonal, sophomore year. We were watching the Silver Sorority Gamma Sigma Sigma together, and I didn't think that we would become as close as we did. We were both very quiet. Like, that is a terrible combination to get people to get to know each other. But over the years, I've learned how witty, like, just smart, hilarious this person is. And, like, she just amazes me. She's done so much. She has been a part of Asian Student Union and a big part of it this year. She has done the financials for Gamma Sigma. Like, I have no idea how that works. I could never know how that works. She's done biochem research. Like, I had to make sure that it was biochem. I was like, you did science. So, I mean, she's just amazing. She's done so much for this campus and this community, and she transferred, and she's just done an amazing job over the past 3 years. And I'm proud to have known her and met her. And I am taller than you today.
The strength of friendship. Carlos Barnes, Jr., who is not here. Still gets a round of applause. All right, all right. Did the thing, just isn't present for it, right? Isabel Batres.
Good afternoon. Buenas tardes, distinguished faculty, students, and family members. Thank you for the invitation and for the opportunity to say some words on my daughter's intercultural graduation speech. My name is Jose Batres. I am Isabel's dad, Hola, Isabel. First, let me congratulate my daughter Isabel. Very proud of you, especially for being the first one in the family to get your degree. Also, a huge, thank you. Also, a huge congratulations to Isabel Pierce and family members for your accomplishments. Isabel, my middle child, is very outgoing, independent, smart, and as she graduated from high school, she knew that college was part of her goals. As an immigrant, this made me very happy because I knew the importance of a higher education. In my case, I had to really learn English first, then try to get a degree while I can keep an eye on Isabel as a baby and her siblings. Not an easy task. Sometimes my daughter tells me that I have so much expectations for her, and I get a little pushy about it. Well, I know, I am. When you see the opportunities here compared to the ones in my country, it's hard to pass that over our heads. I was born in Guatemala and came to this country as an adult, on a political assignment. My country, unfortunately, had 36 years of civil war conflict, and I was forced to leave my birthplace. I met my wife, Amelia, who is from England, and we got married and had 3 wonderful kids: Brandon, Isabel, here, and Adriana. With that being said, my kids are half Guatemalan and half English. For my wife and I, it's important for us that our kids know where they come from. So we tried our best to integrate a cultural background into the American lifestyle. We encouraged them to learn about our culture by taking them to Spanish dancing, restaurants, festivals, markets, and so forth. I am so glad that Moravian College has students with different backgrounds. It makes it more interesting for students to learn the value and importance of our cultures. I encourage students, teachers, parents to learn about multicultural backgrounds, because over time, we are going to lose that essence. And the only proof is going to be in our books, and this is the time where we ourselves can take part of it, live in it, and be part of that history. I hope Moravian College continue to embrace more foreign students from different backgrounds so we can learn a lot about them and pass that wisdom to the next generation. Thank you all for listening to my speech, and congratulations to all graduates. Congratulations.
An important message on embracing cultural pluralism. Morgan Brown.
Hi, everyone. I'm the big brother, and so when Morgan originally asked me to present her stool, I thought long and hard if I wanted to be funny, but sadly my parents keep reminding me that Morgan's the funny one, so I guess I can't be funny. Even though there were a couple of pity laughs there, I'll take them. And then I thought about maybe being wise, but I think that's probably a role for a parent, so instead I'll be ridiculously proud. I think back and looking at you as a little kid, and you were a little more shy than you are today, maybe a lot more shy. And I always wish that our friends, our family, everyone could see you how I saw you when we were at home, loud, rambunctious, and just always 100% talking, laughing, having fun, and just always being the life of the room. And I wanted that to be what everyone else saw. And I can stand here today and know that's true. I was fortunate enough to be in Bethlehem for your freshman year, and I got to witness firsthand you really start to blossom and to be the most compassionate person I've ever met, to really show levels of empathy that I didn't know anyone could have. And I'm just wicked proud of you, and I'm so happy to be here today. Love you.
Brother, bring in the ridiculous pride and some humor. Tavon Campbell.
Hi everyone, my name is Corinne, this is Adam, and last minute yesterday, Tavon asked us to come up and do this for him as great stand-ins for his parents that couldn't be here today. So we have a few words for Tavon today. He is graduating with a biochemistry major, summa cum laude with a 3.7 GPA. And I believe just yesterday, he was accepted into Moravian's MBA, MHA master's program. Adam had the gracious opportunity to meet Tavon during freshman orientation, and if you had to ask freshman Adam where he saw himself the day before graduation, he said that he would not be here today, not expecting to be here. Still, as a freshman, Adam would be honored to be here just as he is now. Going through college with Tavon, he has had a lot of roadblocks and bumps to the point where he should have started his own construction company. Still, through all the struggles or inconveniences, Tavon never stopped and never conceded. He's always found a way out, always a light at the end of the tunnel, and we have learned so much from Tavon just by how he carries himself and how he pushes through life's difficulties. Tavon can always keep me on my toes, and I hope to always keep him on his. You've become like a brother to us, and I can't wait to see you through the next chapters of your life. Congrats, Tavon. You've earned this more than words can describe.
Tavon, bringing the light through the bumps. Sarah Dado. Not here, but still deserving. Talia Daniel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Talia's mom, Doris Grant, was unable to be here today, but that leaves me with the incredible honor of presenting Talia with her stole. Talia and I were first thrown together freshman year. We were assigned roommates, and I think we were both equally nervous to meet each other. But it was like platonic love at first sight. I immediately forced her to be friends with me. And we have grown together these last 4 years in ways that I didn't know would be possible. Talia, I've been so fortunate to be able to watch you grow into this amazing woman that you are today. It wasn't always an easy road. There were lots of ups and downs, but I've watched you pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get back in the set, no, I'm kidding, and get back to it with grace and poise. And I'm so incredibly proud of who you have become. And I know that we will be friends for a lifetime. So thank you very much.
Platonic love at first sight. Boada Finian Ganofo.
Hello, I'm presenting for my little sister, Fueta. We're all very proud of you. Our family and I are very proud of your accomplishments and achievements. Graduating from college is a huge milestone, and you worked hard through all of it. It takes a lot to study and work a full-time job during college, and I'm happy that you're already working in a field that you enjoy and are doing good work supporting and educating youth in difficult situations. You are hardworking, empathetic, and resilient. I'm excited to see what you do in the future, and I'm proud of the strong woman of color in Tongan that you've grown to be. Congratulations on graduating. Malo and ofa atu, little sister.
Hello, malo elele, with this hello in our language. We are probably wondering with all these flowers. We are originating from Pacific Island in the small island, Tonga Island, which is around close to Hawaiian, Samoan, and all those areas. I'm her mom, her father is over there. We have 6 children, and Anna's the oldest. She graduated in 2018 from McAllister College, currently working in District Attorney of Philadelphia. Our second one was graduated last year, but he didn't get to work from Temple University. He left to the Army to serve in the Army. Our third one, he was working, and Foyata is the fourth one, currently in Bolivian College, and I have a son here, graduate will be next year in Bolivian College also. And our youngest will be attending Cabrini University on the next semester. It's an honor for me and my husband. We migrated from Tonga Island, moved to California, and we brought all our 6 children over here. And it's our dream to have all the American dreams. And you could see my car have all the stickers of all the colleges where our children have been attending. They all planning of going back for the future, but right now they're going to be working so they can save more money. I want to thank you from Bolivian College for the opportunity that they gave my daughter and also my son, who's currently here, is a senior, will be next semester. And congratulate to all the graduate from 2020 and 21, and keep on dreaming, because I have a huge dream when I have all my 6 children, and it's not easy. We work 7 days, 6 days. My husband probably working a lot of hours. I work a lot of hours. And also our children do their job, going to school and working. So keep on dreaming, and thank you, God, for blessing us all. Thank you.
Strong woman of color. And don't tow the car with the stickers. Medales Franceschini.
Hi everyone, good afternoon and congratulations to the graduates. Greetings to the faculty, parents, and guests. My name is Denis Franceschini, father of Midelis. It was in September 2017 that after the passage of Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico, 8 members of our family arrived in Pennsylvania to almost survive the worst nightmare of our lives. Without having electricity, food, gasoline, and other essential supplies, we spent 1 more here in the United States with our uncles, to whom we thank you. It was then where it was time to return. There were 3 of us who returned to Puerto Rico and 5 who stayed here, including our grandparent Jerry Santa is here right now. My daughter Mideli, her husband Justin, and Nathan, their son, with only 3 years old. What will they do alone? Well, will they study? Will they have a job? Who will take care of Nathan? Are some of the questions we ask ourselves with this difficult situation. And later, it was time to go back to study, and in January 2018, Midelis was already enrolled in Moravian, not without first receiving the emotional and financial help of Miss Erica Mondock. Thank you, Erica. That without her, the dream of graduation from a university would not have been possible. thanks to her husband, Justin, who works nights so Mideli could study during the day. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate. For this reason, today, everyone in our family is happy for this great achievement. And we travel again, right now, from Puerto Rico to celebrate here. Mideli is continuing with the dream of being a future veterinary. And you will see that God will help you. Thank you.
Yo traduzco, sí,
¿Tú lo traduzco?
Sí, sí, sí.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Mi nombre es Mili Román Vega.
My name is Belinda Armeda.
Mili Román Vega. Ajá. Y soy la mamá de Midelis.
I'm Midalis's mother.
Quiero decirte, Midelis,
I want to tell you, Midelis,
que me siento súper orgullosa de ti,
I feel very proud of you,
de la mujer tan fuerte que has sido,
the strong woman that you've become.
que aún siendo una madre joven,
Although you're a young mother,
eres una excelente madre.
you're an excellent mother.
Y que sé que con mucho esfuerzo y dedicación
And I know with a lot of dedication and with strength,
vas a lograr este próximo paso
you're gonna attain your next step
de ser una veterinaria.
to be a veterinarian.
Amas los animales
Besides the animals,
y yo te amo a ti
I love you,
y no tengo la menor duda
and I don't have any doubts in my mind
de que vas a lograr tu futuro.
that you will be able to achieve your future.
Te amamos mucho.
We love you a lot.
Mira, el nene quiere decir algo.
Sí, sí. ¿Quieres decir algo?
¿Ya? Sí. Dale el micrófono.
No sé cómo.
Puedes decirlo en inglés, Nathan.
¿En inglés puedes?
Sí.
I love you, Mom.
All right, that was the keynote speech for today. The strength of story. Thank you. Wanting to go against the grain up to the last minute with that one, huh? Ziana Gonzalez. Kyle Len.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Purdy, Dr. Gonzalez, and Dr. Creary. My name is Camille Murphy, and I am an associate professor of graphic and interactive design and acting chair of the art department. But I am here today to celebrate Kyle Lin, who is an outstanding graphic and interactive design major with a minor in global studies of religion that I've gotten the pleasure of getting to know as his professor and advisor during his time at Moravian. Kyle excels at user interface design and design for interactive mobile applications. His senior thesis project is an app prototype titled Universe, and it's currently on display in Payne Gallery. And Kyle designed every detail of it. Kyle also serves as the secretary of the Asian Student Union and was also a member of Studio South, the graphic design club that provides design services on campus. When I asked Kyle if there were any important things about him he wanted me to share today, he said that he was born and grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. He enjoys writing poetry, taking photographs, eating, and working out during his free time. To speak to his bright future, in the words of noted designer John Mieta, technology makes possibilities, design makes solutions, art makes questions, leadership makes actions. I wish Kyle all the best in his future as a designer, technologist, artist, and leader. I am happy to celebrate this accomplishment with his family, including his parents, Wilson and Huang, Sister Michelle, and Sister Laura, who also attends Moravian, here today. Thank you, and congratulations to Kyle Lynn.
Kyle, who's leading by making his educators happy. Gabrielle Leonardo. Raquel Lopez DeBoer.
Okay, so while they're getting themselves together, unfortunately, Raquel's parents were on their way for this graduation. And on Monday, they were told to wait until yesterday. And yesterday, we found out that they would not be permitted to enter the country because of the COVID crisis. So, as a family, we are both delighted and excited. And you can see by the numerous honor cords that she has that she really is an exceptional, not just woman, not a scientist, not a scholar, not an athlete, but an exceptional person. And her mom is here, and Manny's going to translate.
If I can. I've been here at Moravian for 3 years, and Raquel was my first student that I accepted. And she's from my home country. ¡Viva España! She's graduating with 3.95 in neuroscience and chemistry, which scares me. She's off to Case Western University. She has a full scholarship for her PhD. She wants to do her research in Alzheimer's, so hurry up, I'm getting old. I might need your research soon. And she's been like one of my children, so I love her dearly. Her parents are on the phone. Sorry, as I get old, I get emotional. ¿Queréis decir algo? De España. She wants to say thank you, and she's very happy. De todo. Thank you, everything. One more thing, go ahead.
So as a piece of advice, because of all of the challenges and obstacles that you have gracefully, elegantly, and diligently navigated, piece of advice, caminante son tus huellas, el camino y nada más. Caminante, no hay camino, which means, traveler, only your footsteps are the road. Traveler, there is no road.
Exemplifying the theme of being guided by ancestors and supported by community.
Adiós.
Sarah Mass.
Hello, everyone. My name's Franca Royval Fernandez. I'm a visiting assistant professor here. Excuse me. As a professor, one of the most fulfilling things is when students not only learn the content that you teach, but apply the tools, methods, and practice you model in their own lives and truly learn not only the content, but all of the cultural subtext and topics sometimes deemed less important, especially if those are considered too radical. We know nothing about that, right? I met Sarah in her first semester at Moravian. She was a transfer student and was in my Spanish 3 class. In this class, there was a lot of discussion about cultural concepts and social justice, and while many students would choose not to prioritize those things, Sarah always did. Her eagerness to learn and apply knowledge was inspiring. We bonded over similar interests and values. She did incredible research for that class. She also joined the Spanish club, which I was advising at the time, and that's where we really got to know each other, and our connection was strengthened. When she wasn't able to take my classes because of the rigorous education class schedule, she would ask for reading materials so she could keep up with Latin American studies, even if she couldn't take the classes. I am so proud to know that she is going off into the world to educate young people because her strong commitment to social justice gives me hope that we truly will be able to make a difference. Sarah embodied the principles of true diversity, equity, and inclusion as a student. She isn't a little revolutionary, she's very revolutionary. And I know she will do even more as a teacher. I'm so honored to welcome Sarah as a colleague in the education field and to have the privilege to present you with your stole today. Felicitaciones y a celebrar.
More than a little revolutionary. Raf Amuyam Mami. Yarnya Pukalo.
Good afternoon. My name is Christopher Jones. I'm a professor in the biology department here at Moravian College, and I've served as Urina's mentor and advisor since she got here. She transferred to Moravian five semesters ago. Yeah, so I think five semesters. And one of the joys, one of the many, many joys of being a faculty member here at Moravian College is that we get to see the progression of students and see how they grow, how they develop, how they mature in their time here. And it's been a pleasure to work with Urina as she pursues her dream of getting a degree in biology and going on from Moravian to bigger and better things. Hard to imagine bigger and better than Moravian College, but. And I particularly want to say that, and students correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of tough. We ask you guys to do some challenging things. Courses are challenging here. I'm hearing no objections, so okay, that's good. But particularly, I'm unfortunately one of those rare Americans. I've lived abroad for a few years in a country where English was not the language, and so I have a very small appreciation for how difficult it can be for students for whom English is not their first language. Particularly, I cannot imagine. I gave a speech once, like a 3-minute speech. I wrote it all out phonetically, pronounced it, and afterwards, it was about my research at the time, and afterwards someone said, perhaps we should ask questions in English. Is that better? And I said, yes, that is better. I cannot imagine those of you who have achieved a degree, a college degree here at Moravian College, for whom English is not your first language. No matter, and English is very good. And I've been constantly impressed with how good English is of all of our international students. However, trying to assimilate that much information in a variety of different areas is very challenging, and I am incredibly impressed by the job that Urina has done in her studies here, and that all of you have done in your studies here as well. So let me see if I don't mangle this too badly. Vitayu. Pisaitesia dosianutium. Unintelligibly, okay. And najkraszci pobożania.
Challenging us to decenter English and embrace the languages of the world. Thank you. Sumaya Raji. Caitlin Roth.
Hi, my name is Bard, and I am here to introduce one with whom true honor and kinship is found for me. The individual whom I refer to is one who has faced adversity and stood stalwart. Yet, more importantly than what they have faced, is who they are. I've known them to be a kind and bright soul whose heart I've come to know filled with true love, passionate and most certainly vibrant. Their craft, whether it be painting or upon the theater itself, that most magnificent stage, are both a roaring flame and a calming breeze to those who know them. In the time that I may say I've known Caitlin, I can say with all my conviction that they are the closest thing that I've ever had to a blood sibling. I mean, like, to be honest, with all the allotted time that I have to speak, I really can't say just how close to me that they are or how good of a person I know them to be. They taught me to be proud of who I am. They taught me to stand firm and put myself out there, even when the light looks dark. And it is with all my heart, blood, and soul that I say to the one whom I love as one of my closest friends and siblings that I will present a stole to, that even though I'll be seeing you off and I won't be seeing you out and about campus, that I know no matter what, a warm smile and embrace shall wait along my journey. I'm only glad that I am able to present to you your honors as a sibling and as a friend. For there's no one else I'd like to tip my hat off to in honor, for you have proven that despite everything, you are still you.
A roaring flame and a calming breeze. And for our last graduates, we get to doubly welcome Elizabeth Wright and Talia Wright.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Wright. I'm Talia and Elizabeth's mother. My husband had to step out, but we are truly blessed to have two of our daughters graduate at the same time because of COVID, but I'm so proud of both of them. They've reached their goal through academic success, and Elizabeth receiving her master's degree, and Talia receiving her early education and special education degree. Elizabeth's fiance, Charles, will present her with the stole.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Liz's fiance, and I'm going to pretty much say a few words on behalf of her family. Elizabeth, congratulations on your great achievement and accomplishments. We are so proud of you. You've already begun to change the world through your knowledge and determination. Your passion for helping people help themselves through valuable resources has changed many lives. Continue to spread your wings and soar. We love you. And I want to say something really quick as well. Liz, I know how hard that you've worked to get to where you are through working full-time as well as being a student. I'm just very, very proud of you, and I'm just really, really excited for this moment for you, and I wish you nothing but the best. I know you'll be great in whatever you endeavor to do in the future, so congratulations. I love you.
This is Talia's twin brother.
Wait. Oh, let me do it. Hello, everybody. I am Tyrell Wright, the twin brother of Talia Wright, right there. I salute my hat to you because I love you as a sister, and you mean a lot to me. And I'm very proud of you. And here it is. Talia, congratulations on your academic success. So we are so proud of you. We taught you the value of education, which would allow you to achieve your greatest dreams in life. Your passion for learning has allowed you to fulfill your dream of becoming a teacher. Continue to make a difference in lives of the children that you teach. Never stop helping others. We love you. And I've been supporting you since day one, ever since for a very long time. And if Mom, you support me when you were at my football games, and I support you when you're in the band. This is Liberty High School, everybody. So, home of the Canes. I really appreciate you that you're my twin. I don't want you to replace you for a brother. I'll never replace you for a twin.
Perseverance, love, and dreams realized. From the womb to the stage. Can I get a round of applause for everyone we just welcomed here? Despite the obstacles, despite the hurdles, just propelled forward based on that support that they received, based on their perseverance, based on their intellect, their talent, their time, their sacrifice, their love, their gain, just the full combination of everything, inviting us here together today. This next section of our program involves student speakers. When I asked the student volunteers how speakers were selected, the first speaker that we're welcoming on stage, I was told, everybody knows Miles. So with that shared, I guess Miles needs no introduction.
Taking my mask off, I got my double vaccines. Moderna, not sponsored. Hi everyone, again, my name is Miles Malario. I'm gonna lower this because I'm short. There we go. This is such an exciting day. I've waited so long for, and I'm so thankful to everyone on the stage and the committee for allowing me to. This is closure. This is true closure for me through such a crazy year. So thank you. The class of 2020. As I look at all of us who are here and think about those who've made up our class throughout those 4 years, I reflect on so much. I think of the students who aren't here, for the different challenges they faced being a marginalized student in a PWI, which is a primarily white institution. And those students who wish they could have been here by their own choice and by their own will, and not of the disadvantages we all face coming from such marginalized communities. For most of us, the journey started way back in 2016. Others in the crowd joined along the way, transfers. We took our first steps on this campus, and we were so lucky to stumble upon a path that led each of us to the Diversity House, 1138 Main Street, still in my head. And at a time, well, for my time, it was former Dean Chris Hunt and Liliana Madrid, or depending on when you came in, Liliana or Alex or Imani and Brittany and everybody else. The list could go on. What we didn't know is that when we stumbled into that office, we actually found the beginning of our campus family for all of us. We each found our way to our respective club or clubs or populations on campus, and in those spaces, we built family with other students, faculty, and staff. There are plenty of faculty and staff in the audience I would absolutely call family in my eyes. I remember stumbling in such steps as we tried our hardest to raise our communities over the next couple of years. Struggling through not our own fault, but the hidden depths of racism, xenophobia, ableism, and homophobia, and anything else you could list that have stayed hidden between these blue and gray walls. During our time here, we had so little resources at some times that the house was sometimes even empty, and I couldn't even understand how staff members still found personal time for each and every one of us, no matter how thinly spread they were. I remember phone calls at 9 p.m. with some of these staff members. That shows you how truly they cared about us and us surviving this institution. Not only this institution, but all institutions. Sorry. Oof, it's a lot of emotions here. We also entered some of the most dangerous times of our generation. 2020 and the 4 years behind it. We witnessed such atrocities, not only at the national level, but here within the pack, within the Moravian Greyhound community, that have not only traumatized our community, they did not traumatize us into fear, but into action. I've always said that Moravian is a microcosm of the nation when it comes to many issues, as I see them replicated similarly on our campus through my 4 years. We then went on to defy those negative issues coming into our lives, and we went on to create and defy and rejoice and celebrate all that is beautifully diverse and bring those interests to Moravian College, to make those spaces at Moravian College if they weren't there, or expand them, because we had to build those spaces ourselves. The DEI community here wraps so tightly around us because they know how hard it is for students like us, because most of the time they were students like us in the past. Moravian College is an institution that prides itself on many things, particularly being founded on the belief that education is essential for all without regard for gender or social standing. While this is a noble thing for any institution to say, it does not mean much for us marginalized students if only a small population of on-campus staff and faculty are effectively advocating for us. And if they are struggling, they need support too. There needs to be more support for diversity, equity, inclusion efforts through funding, staffing, expanding. I know these things have dollar signs, but colleges find ways to expand other programs. And that is what needs to happen here for more things like this to happen. The work that the Office of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion is so important and crucial. It is, I would say, the most important on this campus. I personally owe my own life to that office. During my freshman year, when I came out as transgender to my parents, they decided that they wanted nothing to do with me and abandoned me the last day of my freshman year. And on that same day, Dean Hunt, Liliana, and Dean Lloyd worked effortlessly to get me the supplies I needed, the resources I needed. I got free housing, I got an internship, and a stipend all within a weekend. And that was done through the efforts of diversity, equity, inclusion, because they love students like us. And we find that love in those spaces. Here at Moravian, students are no longer willing to sit silent about these issues. Moravian has such the potential to be the difference in the mess that higher education has become, to be the difference for underrepresented students who they see struggling daily in their lives. The staff that do lift up and support marginalized students here are also under attack, and they need to be supported. Faculty and staff who are just as discriminatory as some students sometimes, they need to be reprimanded just the same. Because without our faculty and staff, you don't have students like us. You don't have DEI departments. You don't have Spanish, Arabic, anything else, most of the things taught at this institution. There is no education without diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you cannot separate the two, ever. This office is one of the most important on campus, and it needs to be treated as such. DEI has taught every student sitting here that the sky is never the limit. No matter how much is pitted against you, you will succeed. I thought I would never make it to graduation, and I'm going to get a master's degree right now in higher education so I can come back to this institution, and I want to work here one day and make changes, because Moravian inspired me to do that. To the classes still here, you must keep pushing forward for your needs. Your words matter. Black lives matter, especially on our campus. Don't ever think you don't belong here. I thought that at one time as well. Find those who love you, surround yourself with them, and keep making changes. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jacqueline Hanna. I'm honored here to be today to deliver a few words in celebration of the classes of 2021 and 2020. Before doing so, I would like to thank our peers, families, administration, faculty, staff, friends, and above all, the DEI team at Moravian College for hosting this event to celebrate our stories. Upon beginning our journey at Moravian College, we thought we had it all figured out, that we know exactly who we were. We had just left our high schools with senior status, but we were quickly confronted with the reality that we were once again freshmen. I think this became pretty apparent when we didn't know the difference between the Sally and PP hack. I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't figure out which was which until second semester freshman year. The funny thing is, we're about to embark on our next journey away from Moravian, and once again, we think we know exactly who we are. If there's anything that we've learned during our time together, it is that the world is constantly changing. For example, the class of 2021 entered our junior year with a mumps outbreak, and then our senior year with COVID. What are the odds? Some take this as a sign that we should stay down, yet we took this obstacle and turned it into an opportunity. We adapted to learning online, came together as a community, and created deeper connections with our peers. We gave back to those in need, and above all, remembered where we came from as individuals. Although the start of our collective stories all look different, over the past few years, we've all grown together. We've faced struggles and hardships that could have come in the way of our dreams. We quickly discovered that to make those dreams become a reality, we needed to build a foundation strong enough to support the weight of whatever we can imagine. Moravian College and the connections we have created here built that foundation. Although the journey of establishing a foundation wasn't easy, it was clear that in adversity, there is beauty and there is strength. In this next chapter of our lives, let's remember that we are constantly changing. We don't always need to know exactly who we are, because we're constantly evolving and adapting, ready to face any challenges that come our way. If there comes a time where we falter and question our strengths, we will remember the foundation we built here at Moravian to inspire us to persevere and remember to make the world a more beautiful place. In the words of Sean Anker, the most successful people see adversity not as a stumbling block, but as a stepping stone to greatness. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jenica Borger, and I'm the chaplain of the college. And it is truly an honor to be able to celebrate with all of you today and hear the amazing stories of your lives. Following the closing, you are all invited to gather for a reception on the patio of the Sally Health Sciences building to continue to celebrate and to take pictures and to be together. I invite you now to imagine with me a tapestry. Many strands of different colors and different textures woven together in intricate design to create something beautiful. Each strand of the tapestry is beautiful in its own right. Its uniqueness cannot be denied. And in fact, its uniqueness is exactly why it is there. And this beauty, this unique beauty, becomes multiplied when placed side by side with other strands of equal value. We are each a strand in this great tapestry of humanity. Maybe this tapestry right here that we call the class of 2020 and the class of 2021, maybe this tapestry was woven together by chance or maybe by divine purpose. Either way, this tapestry that I am looking at right now is beautiful to behold. And so I invite the tapestry of the class of 2020 and 21 to stand. That's you all. And I want everyone to look at this beautiful tapestry here. May the stoles that you received today serve as a reminder of where you have been, of who you are, and the wonderful, beautiful person you have become through this college journey. Wear them proudly as a symbol of the tapestry of Moravian College to which you will always belong. And may this day inspire all of us to accept the challenge of taking this tapestry that we have created in this community and adding more beautiful strands as we include more people into the story of this day and into the story of our lives. We are truly blessed to have shared the strength and the diversity of these students that have added so much to our community. I invite you all to go and be a blessing to our world. Amen.